Well, I think the Lakers silenced a lot of doubters last night. After their first game in which they got beat by Golden State, many fans, or many non-Laker fans and simply trolls and haters, were saying that they weren't a playoff team, that they can't win without LeBron, that they won't even make the play-in tournament, to trade half their team, and so on and so forth. I think they proved a lot of them wrong last night. Beating the Minnesota Timberwolves, the team that beat them in the NBA playoffs last year, not to mention beating them in 5 games, beating them by pretty much 20 points and dominating the entire second half. Looking dominant from Luka Doncic, him dropping 49 points, 1 point away from the 50-point game, not to mention 2 assists away from a 50-point triple-double to go with it. Austin Reeves having 25 points, Rui Hachimura having 23 points, their defense finally coming alive with both Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt giving them a massive boost off the bench, and all around they look like a team that definitely is ready to compete. However, that could all change if they lose tomorrow night to Sacramento. The cycle could then repeat, so don't overreact to it quite yet. Definitely showed plenty of good moments, definitely corrected some things from their first game, but they do have some work to do yet too. However, I think they showed a really promising sign, and especially with their defense last night, between both Jared Vanderbilt and Marcus Smart, I think they really showed that they can make a huge difference in their team, and I think in a particular lineup too. That they showed in the late second quarter heading into halftime, in which they went on a 14-4 run, in which Anthony Edwards had 0 points and 2 turnovers in a 4.5 minute time frame, which was largely caused by Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt giving him hell on the court. And not only him, but really the entire Timberwolves offense too. So with that in mind here, what was this lineup? Why was it so effective? And can the Lakers potentially use it more going forward? Possibly to create a defensive death lineup, quote unquote? Maybe. We're going to talk about that, what they showed last night, particularly on defense, and why it's so promising for their team going forward. But without further ado, let's dive into it and talk about what the Lakers showed last night. And like I said, they did go on a 14-4 run to end the second quarter, in which the 5-man lineup combination that did it was Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, Marcus Smart, and Rui Hachimura. Yes, it was a small ball lineup which many Laker fans absolutely hate, but it was a lineup that definitely got their team on track last night, especially on defense. Like I said, they definitely bothered Ant on the court. Throughout that 4.5 to pretty much 5 minute time frame, Anthony Edwards had 2 turnovers, one caused by Marcus Smart, the other one caused by Jared Vanderbilt, was actually 0 of 2 from the field, missing a 3-point shot, another mid-range shot, also missing a free throw in that time frame too. And all around, he definitely got bothered by the combination of Vanderbilt, Smart, and the Lakers' really persistent defense in this time frame, which really was sparked by Marcus Smart, and there's really no way you can disagree with that. I mean, if you watch the game, and particularly that late second quarter, then you probably know what I'm talking about. He came off the bench and was very vocal on the court, was very emphatic about playing defense and trying to get their team motivated to play defense, and it definitely worked. Their entire team followed suit and they finally locked in on defense for more than a possession or 2 at a time. They did it for pretty much a 5-minute time frame that eventually did carry to the third quarter too. And well, if you look at the stat line, it might not look that great for him, having a grand total of 3 points on 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from the 3-point line, 1 assist to go with it. But if you watch the game, then you definitely do know what I'm talking about, and you can point to the plus-minus rating with him too, having a team high plus 24 in this game. But again, you really cannot point to his stat line and overall numbers here to show his true impact. You have to actually watch the game and go through the film to see it. So with that in mind and directly pointing to it, I think it started at the 4-minute and 43-second mark of the second quarter, Marcus Smart getting checked in roughly a minute before this, and immediately taking on the Anthony Edwards matchup, in which he did on this play by taking on the Ant matchup and trying to drive past him, but Marcus Smart holding his ground, holding it until the help defense came, Rui Hachimura poking at the ball, and that makes Ant hesitate for just a brief second, in which Marcus Smart took that opportunity to literally rip the ball away from him, getting the ball and diving on the floor to do it, then passing the ball up to Austin Reeves for a quick 2 points in transition. Something the Lakers don't do very often and really don't take advantage of very often. Not only the fact that they don't get many steals per game, but then even if they do, actually pushing the ball in transition for an easy 2 points, which they did get on this play directly from Marcus Smart. And well, unsurprisingly, he then made another impact play the very next time down the court on defense. Here he is matched up with Naz Reid and once again getting directly up in him.
Pause.
Naz Reid trying to dribble past him a bit and Marcus Smart takes it directly away from him. Yes, he does eventually lose it, falling on the floor to try to grab it, but I think this really helped spark the Lakers defense and light a fire under the entire team. As not too long later, we have more defensive plays by Rui Hachimura, defending Julius Randle well in the post and causing a miss here. Even more plays after that. Here we have Jared Vanderbilt taking on the Anthony Edwards matchup and trying to get the ball and maybe make a move, but doesn't realize he's at half court from how far Jared Vanderbilt pushed him back and causing yet another turnover. And well, if you put that kind of defense around Luka Doncic, who was absolutely scorching on the court last night, good things are bound to happen. I mean, in that 5-minute time frame to end the second quarter, Luka Doncic had 9 of their team's 14 points. The other 5 came from Marcus Smart hitting a 3-point shot, then Austin Reeves getting that transition layup that I showed you before. So if you combine that, Luka Doncic going off, the defense playing well, and really lit a fire under by Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt, I think that's definitely a recipe for success and possibly something they can maintain going forward too. No, I'm not saying it's going to be their new starting lineup, but it definitely will be a lineup they turn to, likely again throughout the second quarter, maybe during the third quarter and or fourth quarter, possibly even close with this lineup against certain teams and against certain matchups. I think they've really found something here with it. I mean, say what you will about the potential flaws on offense and the lack of 3-point shooting with Vanderbilt and even Marcus Smart at times, but you can't deny the defense, the energy they bring, and how infectious it really is to everyone around them too. That's something that'll never not happen in a lineup with both Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt on the court. And for Marcus Smart, I think he really is the driving force of that. Jared Vanderbilt's great and definitely brings that energy, but Marcus Smart does both that, bring the energy, and bring the communication and vocalness too. Not only is he gonna do that and really hype himself up, but he's gonna hype his teammates up too. Drive them to play better defense, to compete on the court, and simply play with the energy that they really lack on the court at times, really throughout much of last season. And well, I really think Austin Reeves summed this up perfectly, talking about Marcus Smart and the energy that second quarter lineup brought to their team, and simply how infectious it was to everyone around it.
Marcus Smart, I think, only took 1 or 2 shots. He was plus 24 off the bench. Does that kind of typify the energy and the effort you got from not just him, but some Vanderbilt, some other guys as well?
Yeah, I mean, everybody that came off that bench, and that bench group was big for us. They guarded at a high level. They and he just competed. They had back-to-back possessions. Marcus got 1 steal, should have been 2. He lost the other one, but just laying his line out or his body out on the line for us and giving us opportunities over and over again. That's the same with Jake. Da was a monster tonight. So just continuing to build those things and trust in one another, and we'll be fine.
Like I said, I really don't think it's possible to not be affected by Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt on the court together at the same time. I mean, watching the energy they play with, the defense they play on the court, going after loose balls and rebounds, and simply to make the effort plays that really count for your team despite not showing up on the stat sheet. I don't know if it's possible to not be affected by that. We clearly seen it with Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and even Luka Doncic on defense, and simply going after and making the plays that count but don't show up on the stat sheet again. I think that's something that will be affected possibly by the team directly from Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt going forward. And well, with that in mind, I'm really curious to watch how Redick will use them going forward. Will he continue to bring both of them off the bench? Will it be together because of what they showed in this game? Using them both to bring that defensive energy and really give their team a spark during the late first quarter, throughout the second quarter, or whatever it might be, really often throughout the game? Or will he separate them to get the most out of both of them, have one of them on the court at pretty much all times, maybe even add one of them to the starting lineup, replace Gabe Vincent with Marcus Smart and or Jared Vanderbilt? What will he do with them? I think that's definitely a conversation worth having at this point. Many thought, and even myself kind of doubted their ability to play together, at least with DeAndre Ayton or Jackson Hayes in the court with them. But Redick may have found a way around that, kind of using Vanderbilt in the small ball 5 role. Yes, again, it might not work for every matchup, but at times throughout the game and against certain matchups more or maybe less, I think it definitely is a viable option, and they showed it in this game too. Regardless though, I think it'll be interesting to watch how Redick incorporates them. I don't think we can only see 11 minutes of Jared Vanderbilt like he played in their first game, or only 15 to 18 minutes of Marcus Smart. I think we need to see plenty of them going forward, even together on the court, as this game directly showed their capabilities, particularly on defense and the spark they can give their team on defense too. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about what the Lakers showed last night? How do you feel about the lineup they used during the second quarter? How do you feel about what Jared Vanderbilt and Marcus Smart did for their team, particularly in that second quarter? How do you feel about the utilization of those two going forward, and simply about the Lakers' outlook going forward too? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
A lot of positive things tonight from a lot of players. Gabe, terrific job defensively again on a primary guy. Battled your ass off tonight. Our three guys off the bench, Marcus, Vando, Jake, with some big-time plays defensively. That was your best defensive game you've had for us so far. That was awesome. I'm talking preseason too. That was great. DA dominated. Another great defensive performance from you. Another great one. All right. Rui, you were spectacular. AR, against that team to have 11 assists and 1 turnover. 11 assists and 1 turnover against that team is big time. And Luka, way to just control the game. Got us going early with your scoring. You picked up your defense. You ended up with 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 49 points. Not a bad night. You completely dominated that game. That was great stuff. Regardless of the result, the reference point of us playing hard. Did you feel it? Because I saw it. I felt it. And I didn't play.
I feel it right now.
I know you feel it right now. That's a reference point of how hard we have to play. Terrific job. Bring it in. Let's go.
But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night,